It's live.
We're live.
We're
Yay!
live.
As you can see, this is some typical Leo childlike enthusiasm,
As it should be.
masking some terror. That's what it is. Anyway, so welcome everybody to episode 2 of the Leo cycle on Astro Soup. And yeah, what can I say? It's I wanted to try to find some adjectives to describe this energy cycle that we're in,
Mm.
and and you know I could go off in several different directions
Mm.
because the energy is just like that. So last episode I talked about the 5 or 6 major astrological events that were going to take place in the first week of Leo, and then we had a bit of a breather, and now we're about to go through another set of astrological events. Oh, first one was today, Venus into Libra.
Mm.
So, which is why I just want to say this. We can say this because I think that Andy and Colin and I have already started the party
That's
before we
right.
went live. But so Venus in Libra, Sun in Leo wants to have a party.
Yes.
Although some of the other astrological elements might have something less than exciting to say about that. But anyway, I wanted to start by talking, I would like to talk a little bit about what the energy of the particular sun sign that we're in, because we tend to think that, well, I've got my, let's just pick Sun in Pisces, for example.
Mm.
So, what does Sun in Leo have to do with Sun in Pisces? Well, a lot actually, because wherever the sun happens to be in your chart, it is trying to express the basic energy that comes from the sun being its home being Leo. So it's a
Um,
time when
right.
we get to all look to see what makes us shine, what is our essence.
Mm.
And it's funny because I was thinking about, how that's working right now. The analogy that I came up with was right now the energy is like a lot of little kids starting kindergarten,
It
and,
is. It feels like
and
that.
everybody's going in 14 different directions, and nobody knows what anyone else is doing. Heck, they don't know what they're doing.
Right. Right.
However, that aside, so what can we use this Leo time for? Well, to recognize how we shine, because we always think of shining as standing in a spotlight on a stage.
Mm.
And that's not, we all have different qualities, and what makes us who we are, our essence, is how we're going to shine, and that comes through the sign that your sun happens to be in. So even though the sun is in Leo right now, it
Mm.
is the time of year for you to put on your Leo coat, if you like.
Yeah.
Um, so the interesting thing about this is while you're trying to do that, it may be hard to get there. So I
Mm.
developed an exercise a number of years ago for a course that I can't remember what the name of it was that I was teaching. Apparently, things are stuck in the throat chakra. Anyway, I call it the mirror exercise. Okay, we're gonna.
The mirror exercise.
Lapis lazuli right now.
Okay, we found our voice that doesn't sound like a cartoon character.
Much better. Art imitates life.
So it's called a mirror exercise, and it's pretty simple. You need a mirror.
Okay.
You can use whatever mirror you want. You can use your bathroom mirror if you want. I tend to suggest you use a slightly smaller one for the purposes of this exercise, but whatever works for you. You need post-it notes,
Mm.
and you need a pen. And if it was me,
Mm.
I'd pick a really pretty colored pen because that would make me happy.
Mhm.
So, what I want you to do once you've assembled all your tools is to take a moment, take a deep breath, take a couple of deep breaths, get connected with yourself, and ask yourself, what things have people said about you? And what have you said about yourself? And then I want you to write them down,
Mm.
each on a different post it note. And as you do it, I want you to put them on the mirror and just keep going. And now you're not required to put down everything that anybody's ever said to you. You may find some themes or things.
Mm.
The key is to recognize how difficult it is to actually see yourself clearly, quite frequently simply because we pile on the things that people have said about us, said to us, the things that we've concluded about that, so the things we've said to ourselves. Now, this is an exercise that does require some self reflection. And you know what? If you only put up 3 or 4 post it notes and you think you've had it, you don't need to go any further. The only purpose of it is to really understand how self reflection can be difficult because it's really not always encouraged. So when it's Leo season, this is a good time for that kind of self reflection so you can find where it is you feel you shine in your life. How do you shine? And unfortunately, we have some very limited definitions of that at times, of what makes people shine. So I'm not sure I have much more to say about that. Not that I couldn't, but then maybe Colin would never get a chance to talk, and we can't have that. And Andy wouldn't have a chance to talk.
You know I never talk. Come on.
So at any rate, now we're just going to do a little bit of a preview about what's coming up in future episodes and in the podcast. So in future episodes of Virgo 2, I will have Tara All as my guest. We have not, we don't know what we're talking about yet. And maybe by the 24th of August, we still won't know what we're talking about. But that won't necessarily be a problem. Also, obviously, Colin and I are going to be talking about trust once we get past what's in the bowl. And I did pick, because there's so little earth energy right now, I was guided to pick a tree card from the Tree Magic Oracle deck that I have, just to give us some sense of how we might stay grounded.
Huh.
And what's in the bowl? Oh, my God. Maybe we should talk about that. Oh, that was something else I was going to talk about. So on August the 17th, I'm having a special event to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of Astro Soup.
Yay.
And more details to follow. But I will be doing quick readings using my deck of astrology cards.
Amazing.
So,
Can we see the card?
oh yeah, well, of course I put it back in the box. Because I never listen to Andy when she says props, like prop. In fact,
Listen to the Libra.
and I was going to tell her to bring the soup pot this week, but I forgot.
Wait. Maybe Andy has one.
Oh no, she has little tiny. Oh, she does have it. Where did I put it?
I love it.
Yeah?
Just for the soup.
But it's too bad we couldn't get somebody to make a whole bunch of vegetables that had astrological signs on them or something. Or just little Marses and little Venuses. Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
So here's the new design for my new.
Those are cute.
Love it.
Yeah. So now I get to go to the art store, a very Leo thing to do, and put all the symbols on the back myself.
Nice.
Anyway, so I digress. Wow, that was Andy's happy now I had a prop. And then I didn't realize she was keeping all the vegetables in the soup and whatever for what's in the bowl.
Absolutely.
Which is, we hope, a natural segue to what's in the bowl. Okay.
Let's go bowling. Come on.
Let's do it.
Well, I don't know that I'd want to jump into a soup that's made from the upcoming ingredients or not, because, so Venus is in Libra today. So that generally is going to raise everybody's happy vibration a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But, the interesting thing about Libra is always Venus in Libra is everything and everyone is wonderful.
What's wrong with that? No.
Well, nothing except there's a bunch of planets going, I don't think so.
Yeah. My God.
So it's just a time, it's a really great time to feel warmth and compassion and kindness, but there may be a pull, pushing, and you might want to hang out in the world of idealism for a while,
Mm,
and that's not a bad thing. But you can't ignore reality,
mm,
because as Venus goes through Libra, eventually it's going to oppose happiness as Saturn, and
mm,
then yeah, then we'll have a different conversation. Um, and Venus is connecting to all of the shifting and changing that's been going on. So there is a call to integrate some of what's going on, but that can be a bit of a bumpy ride.
mm, mm,
And so that happened today. Then on the 9th, which I believe is Sunday,
mm. Yes.
Sunday or Monday,
Yes. From what I see,
crap.
Sunday. Hmm.
Um, Mercury's going to go into Leo, and I know people who are counting the minutes
Oh,
till
God.
that happens, because if so, yesterday, as Mercury is saying goodbye to Cancer, my printer decided it doesn't want to talk to my computer
Oh,
anymore.
good idea. Great.
I'm glad you didn't blame Mercury in retrograde because it's not.
Well, as my friend Tracy points out, Mercury does not like water signs. It's not its favorite place to be. It's like being drowning all the time. And honestly, I have not had fun during. Well, let's not talk about that. I've already talked about that before, and it doesn't change
Mm.
anything. So when Mercury goes into Leo, there's going to be a real, uh, well, the word came up, bombastic, just because of the Mercury's going to feel like it's been freed from purgatory.
Yeah.
And there's going to be some challenge. I would caution everybody to be clear about what you're saying and why you're saying it. Because Mercury in a fire sign can really just go for the gusto.
Mm,
And of course, because of its relationship to Pluto,
mm,
during this
mm,
early period, Mercury's going to be happy with Venus, but there's also be careful that you really, if you're about to say something that you, has been on your mind, and that could be part of what happens when Mercury goes into Leo, because people have been essentially holding back or being highly emotional, but not really saying anything, because Cancer energy tends to go inward as opposed to outward. Then, you might find yourself wanting to say stuff.
mm.
Count to 10 before you do. Because although it's a very quick transit, you can say with Mercury opposed Pluto something life altering, and it may be life altering in several different directions. Some of them you might be happy about, and others you might not. So that kind of energy from Sunday through to about the next week, that's what I would caution, is just be careful what you say. It's fun to play with words again and to be highly verbal, and it always brings a little bit of flamboyance with it, Mercury and Leo. So have some fun with that. And then, just as Mercury is starting to feel really good, Mars moves into Cancer on Tuesday. So here's how I decided to describe Mars in Cancer. So Mars likes things that go fast. So when it gets into a water sign, it would like to be on a speedboat.
Mm.
But when it moves into Cancer, it's going to feel like it's in a dinghy
Mm,
with with one paddle.
mm, mm,
So it's going to slow things down. There's going to be the tendency, the combination of planets, um, Mercury in fire, Venus in air, Mars in water, and there's not much, and the sun's in fire. It's going to be an interesting cocktail, because um, there's nothing to ground things.
right.
There's nothing to give you pause, because that's what grounding does. It gives you pause, gives you time to consider what might be happening. So I would suggest during this period of time, it might be a really great idea to just go outside and with bare feet and stand in the grass or stand on the dirt or play
Mm,
with your flowers or do something, so that you're not all up here
mm, mm,
or just in your heart center. And Mars
mm,
in Cancer can be highly reactive and not very nice. If you think about the crab
mm.
combined with the arrow, you get the picture. And next we're going to talk about that total solar eclipse comes on Wednesday.
August 12th.
The days all blur together after a while. When you're doing astrology, sometimes doesn't it feel that way? It's like,
Yes.
what is it? What day is it? So I'm going to ask Andy and Colin to share their thoughts on this total solar eclipse. Honestly, just when I'm thinking about it, the energy in my solar plexus, wow. I want to say humdinger, and then I want to clarify it, but I can't seem to get past humdinger. So, Colin, what would you like to say about it? Well, I gather something.
Well, I really just love how your practice is asking people to cultivate more positive self-talk, because I think that is just such a gorgeous way of framing Leo, so that we could find what it is that perhaps we need to accept about ourselves authentically, and then perhaps express it because we have driven with more positive self-talk and behavior. And I think that it's a heart-ruled sign. I think that has to be presenced often when we talk about Leo. I don't have to tell you, Leo rising, right? And I think that given the high-tech world that we're living in, and honestly, like high-tech industry of astrology, right? Not just technology, but technique too. We have to also, to quote John Nesbitt, become as high-touch as possible. And so the more high-tech, we must become equally high-touch. And I just think it's really important for anybody involved in astrology right now to be as high touch as possible, given the sensitivity to recent situations and given the fragility of the world and how so many of us are really struggling to just survive, let alone thrive. And I really want astrologers and astrology students included to bring as much heart to themselves and to others, and not just provide endless information, but really compassionate inspiration and attunement as well.
Wow. Wait till you see what the tree is that I picked that zooms right in on what you said. Of course, one of the things I do like to say about a solar eclipse is it's a new moon on times 1,000, and especially if it's total.
Oh my Lord!
So, in a way, because we only have eclipses in the sign of Leo once every 9 years, it is an important time since this is the first one, and it's a solar eclipse with intentions to be met, to be developed. It can be wish on a star, but just understand how much energy there is, and not to expect instant gratitude, because sometimes fire signs can be about instant gratitude.
Noted.
So I don't know, what do you have something you'd like to share, Andy?
Sure. I mean, when we look at that solar eclipse, technically it's on the south node, and when there's a new moon eclipse, there's a lot of energy in that body system. So obviously that is the beating heart and the flanks and the spine. That's all Leo stuff. And it does get the solar plexus chakra. Like it's an orange, the sun, it's very orange right now. It's like the sun's a big orange ball. It's in an orange sign. There's a lot of solar plexus energy. The question with the eclipse is that it on the south node, there's a kind of leak of that energy, or it's like it's said to kind of cut out that energy, especially it blocks the light of the eclipse. So I was thinking, from a remediation perspective, we could carry sunstone with us to try to make sure we have enough sun energy in the system even during the eclipse. I was thinking we could actually wear big lion necklaces, or like something to honor the Leo energy. If the south node on that does cause anything weird, we can remediate or be ready to be honoring sun energy in the best form. So yeah, all sun remediations. And then of course we want to springboard off the south node. We don't want to necessarily look at it as negative, but say, can we springboard off those Leo energies to go towards a collective, which is the Aquarius north node? So can we build ourselves up on that eclipse to become a super group or a super team? It's almost like build your inner star so that we can propel forward into the collective. That's what I would say.
Well, beautiful. And I think that Aquarius is also about uniqueness. and of course, Andy and I have conversations about this before. Um, I think that Aquarius is more about community than it is about groups. Because
And
those
what's
things,
the distinction for you, Leslie?
well, so a community is made up of different people with different thoughts, ideas, like uh, as opposed to a group that I I don't know why. Maybe it's because groups are always a bit of a challenge for me.
Challenge.
I have 5 planets in Aquarius, so the North Node's in my sign, and
Mm.
I think that a South Nodal eclipse to start out with is really about taking a look at the patterns. Like, do you actually know how to celebrate yourself in a healthy, life affirming way so that you can contribute it to the greater good? I
Yeah.
mean, and this is one of my favorite quotes from the I Ching, which is, "You cannot change the world unless you're prepared to change yourself," and
Hello.
Should
and
we
that
sing "Man in the Mirror"? I mean,
I know the scene keeps coming up.
I don't
I
know.
know. Yeah.
I'm talking about
the man.
in the
Oh,
mirror.
now you've got me singing. Why? That's terrible. No.
No, it's
You
Leo,
brought up
Leslie.
mirrors. You're the one who's talking about mirrors. I mean,
Hello. You did this
Hey,
to yourself.
I impulsively joined in. If that's
You
not
did.
Leo energy, I don't know
You
what it
did.
is.
You're like, I don't want to miss this fun moment. I'm gonna start singing.
Okay. Well, I'm sure there's more that could be said about
Yeah.
the solar eclipse, but we're going to talk ourselves, and then Colin and I won't have any time to talk at all, which is simply
Oh.
not acceptable. It's just not acceptable. So the tree card that I picked, and this is from the Tree Magic Oracle deck.
Great.
I love this deck. I mean, it's so whimsical, and I
Yeah.
love whimsical. Um, so the card I picked was the Willow Tree.
Oh, beautiful.
Um, Wisdom and progress develop without rest, like a tree springing upward from its roots in the earth.
Mm.
And I just love it. But I love trees. I love trees.
Mm.
It says your fertile inner strength, like that of the willow, is your inexhaustible flexibility to bend around obstacles. I think that I could read more, but you know, Colin and I want to talk. No.
2 air signs. Actually,
Yeah.
almost all 3 are here. Andy, are you a Libra sun or a
grand
Scorpio
sign.
sun?
I'm a Libra technically.
Oh, yeah. So there we go. We have all 3 air signs here. Hello, Gab Fest. Go ahead.
And we vibe really nice together.
Yes,
Not,
yes.
and that matters to us, even if it doesn't matter to everyone else.
No, it will, because they're feeling it. They're like, yeah, you know what? This is a vibe. And they're just like, they're getting the soup. They want to sing. They want to dance. They want to move. Air signs style, baby. Go ahead.
Well, whatever Colin has in his soup.
Exhaustion, adrenaline, anxiety. I don't, yeah. That's
you know what?
adrenal fatigue failure. Go ahead.
I appreciate you saying that because that's exactly what describes what the energy is like right now.
Ugh.
Mhm.
I know. Oh my God. And here we are,
Oh,
air signs gabbing it and just
Yeah.
doing our best.
Okay, because now we're only going to have 25 minutes left to talk about trust.
Uh-oh. Okay. I guess
I'm bowing for silence. I'm just
No.
listening.
Andy, I'm just going to tap you in because we need to leave it to a Libra. Venus entered your sign, so you can't leave us out here. Yeah.
And are you in charge of this podcast?
No. No, madam. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I wrote 6. So I made questions just for us to have a place to start that makes sense
Great.
to people.
Great.
Because, we could have a conversation and go, what are those people talking about?
Yeah.
Anyway, at least that's my point of view, and I'm sticking to it.
Stick to it.
So what do you think trust really is, Colin?
Well, I love the definition by Aquarius, Rachel Botsman, Leslie. She says it's a confident relationship with the unknown.
Oh,
A confident relationship with the unknown. Yeah. And, do you want to say something about that? Go ahead.
Well, it's funny because I think you talked about that in Seattle, right?
Yes, yes.
And I remember that when you talked about it, I kind of thought about it for a second. It really hit home.
Mm,
And then I realized that on some frequency, I've always had a confident relationship with the unknown.
amazing.
Um, Parts of me are not so sure about that.
Right.
And,
Mm.
and I think it's important for people to realize that you can have several different feelings about the very same thing.
Ah, gorgeous. Yes, agreed.
And that none of them is right or wrong.
Right.
And if you're not clear about how you relate even to the word, which is why I asked that question, because trust
Yeah.
doesn't mean the same thing to everybody.
No.
Um, so, yeah, that's why I wanted to talk about it. I think I said to you in Seattle, let's
Hmm.
talk about this on my podcast because I really
Hmm.
love this. So, a confident relationship with the unknown,
Yes.
and that's an
Yes.
inner thing.
Yes. And interpersonally too, right? How do we trust other people confidently, knowing full well, anything can happen and they can do whatever they want in the space of uncertainty. And to harken back to a point that you had said earlier, just like there's a part of me that has always known that, and then there's a part of me that's not so sure. What Botsman discusses as well is how doubt is a fundamental and key component to trust. We need doubt to trust well, because she argues, yeah, that in the absence of doubt, we are fundamentalists. And I just think that is such an
Oh,
excellent
wow.
point. Yeah, I know. It's so simple and yet not always obvious, that if we don't have any doubt, it's not trust. What would be the
Well,
need for trust if it was certain?
yeah.
Right.
Well, then it becomes rigid, right?
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
inflexible.
Exactly. And I think that is what I want astrologers to normalize and protect
And people in
because,
general.
well, yes, but fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how we want to look at it, no, mostly fortunately, we're in our astrological community. And I think so much of our work is about making the unknown known, which is a
Mhm.
beautiful thing. But as Botsman also says, nothing new happens in the known. So if you want courage, accountability, repair, justice, peace, love, creativity, innovation, none of that is going to happen if we are controlling, managing, and predicting our way, because then we're making everything known and nothing new can happen in the known. So it's
Well,
a
and
it's a riddle, really.
I can say from my life experience that um, if if you think that you know yourself,
Mm.
like I think back about when I was 18 and what I knew.
Mm.
Well, I knew exactly as much as I'd experienced,
Yes,
and I'd
yes.
experienced a lot, but I still. I mean, I think that my older son was in therapy, and he said he was a little scared, and I said, "Why?" He said, "Well, I feel like I'm walking down this long hall, and there's all these doors, and I'm not sure I want to open them." I said, "Well, what do you think you're going to find behind them? You're just
Oof.
going to find yourself.
Yes,
You're just
right.
going to find yourself." And
Mm.
and so when we talk about trust, it's how often do we not trust ourselves?
Ugh. Oof.
And I love it that we're talking about doubt as a positive thing because
Yes.
how much of the time are we encouraged to think that that's a bad, you should never doubt yourself, you should never doubt anything.
Right,
And
right.
and I can honestly say, and Andy could support this, is how many times in the last year have I doubted what the heck I was doing on this podcast?
Oh, yeah.
Because, well, how else do you create something if there, I mean, so when you talk about doubt, that's what where my mind goes. Well, how
Yeah,
can you create anything if there's no doubt along the way, if you don't ask yourself questions about why you're doing what
absolutely.
you're doing, what is it about? Because trust takes you to all those places. It's I sometimes think that we see it in a very narrow way.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Myself or Andy, I just want to make sure.
Oh, you.
Okay, okay. I agree. And I think that it was Anne Lamott who said, doubt is divine. There's divinity in doubt. And we should I'm skeptical of everything I say, even as I'm saying it. I might sound convinced, and I'm sure of absolutely nothing. And I maintain that in every way that I teach and try to offer support for other people. And yeah, I think there is Virgo humility in that. And I know we're talking about Leo here, but there's that sense of humility. And I think to maintain that sense of, yeah, we're allowed to doubt and maintain skepticism. I think then we can be in really beautiful places like awe, surprise, wonder, curiosity, exploration, learning. And that's where I want us to really operationalize astrology right now because,
And how do
yeah,
you think that? I know you're talking about the astrological community, but this is also true for your average everyday person.
yes,
I,
absolutely.
um, I had something to say, and then it just flew
It'll
away,
come back.
and it'll fly right back around, and
Yeah.
maybe I can catch it that time.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
trust that it will come back. Sorry, I'm supposed to be silent.
No, Andy, come on. Venus is in Libra. You are the Venus. I'm Mars because Mars is in
Hey,
Gemini.
hey,
Okay.
again, who's in charge of this podcast?
Sorry, I thought it was dialogic. Okay, go ahead.
I'm just kidding you.
I know. Roast me. Roast
Honestly,
me.
honestly,
Okay.
how many times Andy told me over the. See, we're always referring to Andy.
I
As
know.
Andy said to me, "You're the boss, Leslie." You're the boss.
And then you go, yeah? Me?
Yeah, that you nailed that one. Um, so much for more self revelation from me.
There you go.
Well, when you got, but let's talk astrology here. When you got Moon, Jupiter opposed Pluto on your ascendant,
Yeah.
what is your job? Your job is revelation.
There you go. Oh, I love that. What a beautiful word.
Well, I think that Jupiter is all about revelation.
That's a perfect word. Yeah, and it doesn't always mean we have to apply it right away because it is the revelation intrinsically, and then typically following, I think that's when I get to apply what Jupiter has given me a revelation with. That's really astute.
And when you said the word apply, what I wanted to say came back. So thank you.
Yes,
Well,
I knew it. I had
well,
trust in you, Andy. I mean, Leslie. Andy said it first. Go ahead.
whatever.
Yeah, I know.
This is way too much fun, Colin. You're going to have to come on more.
Okay, good. I'm glad we think so. But wait, what were you trying to say about apply? I don't want to distract.
Well, it's because, so you look at the Leo energy, and when you move into Virgo, you talked about the humility.
Yes.
Well, it's about not spending your whole life going, look at what I did, and finding how to actually apply it. Because, you can have all these wonderful qualities, but if you don't actually know what to do with them,
Bingo.
which is why I always thought Virgo got short shrift anyways.
All the time. I couldn't agree more. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely it does. And because I think it's the house of, or the sign of application and skill set after the revelation in so many ways. Yeah, what do I do with this knowledge?
Well, it's process. It's all about process.
Yeah. Yes.
So, no. I'm having fun, even though
Even though what?
Oh, I just haven't been feeling all that well. Like
okay.
The energy cocktail in my world is,
A swirl.
Well, I Pluto backing up to conjunct my Venus for the 4th time.
But the hair looks good. The Venus hair, honey, you look great.
Well, and it's interesting because I think that I feel really good about the North Node in Aquarius because it's taken me trust. Like when we're talking about trust, starting this podcast was a big leap of faith and trust for me.
Beautiful.
And so we're talking about this at a time that seems very appropriate for me, and I hope for everybody else because. But it's so much an inside job for me. Like if you're looking outside yourself to feel trust, to feel what you need to feel inside, then you've got a bit of a problem. If you need everything in your life to line up so you can feel that sense of trust, how many people actually lose faith or trust in themselves because things don't go the way that they thought that they should go?
Right.
And it's like talking about doubt. And And I mean, I have a saying that there's no such thing as a mistake, just a choice that has consequences you hadn't planned on.
Love that positive reinterpretation. I love it.
Well, because it puts things in a different light. And
Yeah,
I think that, you know, trust is one of those things that it's such a big word.
it
It's
is
such a big word.
overused, underdefined. Right,
But
right.
it's a big word. It packs a really powerful punch in people's
Yes,
lives.
yes, yes. And interesting, Andy, is that a cat? There better be.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
that's
come on,
Maria.
Leo season.
Sorry.
I love it. When we're talking about Leo, a feline must appear. Go ahead.
I have a question though about trust,
Sure.
Okay, go for it.
which is, what do you think in the astrological chart defines, you know, is a person trusting in the
Ooh,
chart? Like,
that's a
are
great
there
question.
certain, you know,
That's a
signs that
great
are more
question.
trusting than others, or you know, things like that?
I have a theory, but Leslie, would you like to go
No,
first?
you go for it.
Uh,
I'll say something when you're done.
Yeah, so I think that regarding signs which teach us who has earned trust, because Botsman also says it's not something we build, it's something we earn. I do believe that generally speaking, that's a Scorpio ruled conversation. Yeah. And I think
Oh,
though that, yeah, whenever I'm counseling a Scorpio, we talk about trust for at least 25 minutes. Oh, absolutely. Because there's a lot of deconstruction, reconstruction, and additionally, what I would say is that every zodiac sign, I think, offers a distinct but insufficient wisdom on the skill for trust, right? Like, so if we focus on Leo here, we could say that actually, Andy, to risk and risk proactively is a key function of trust. Because to quote Adam Phillips, he says, trust is a word we put too much trust in. Trust is a risk masquerading as a promise.
oh, I love that.
So to be in a Leo flavor around trust is to risk, to say I love you first, to send the message and say, hey, I want to take you out. Is there any way you could do this? Or even too, I would say in challenging behavior to say, hey, I know you've been really busy and I fully support how ambitious and committed you are to work. It's just this is the second time when you've shown up 25 minutes late without giving me an advance notice. Is there any way that moving forward, you could just not do that or give me more lead time? That's the risk of saying, like, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to share what I'm disappointed by. Can we repair around that? And then last but not least, when we talk about where trust is found in the sequence of relating. So this is the work of Ed Tronick out of Harvard. He discusses that connection is made of harmony, disharmony, and repair. Each relationship always moves through harmony, disharmony, repair, harmony, disharmony, repair. And trust is actually earned in between disharmony and repair. It's not earned between harmony and disharmony.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
So obviously, many relationships get stuck in the disharmony phase and never got to
correct.
get to the repair phase.
Because we don't have the competence, the skills, or often the character around it. And
Or
so,
the inclination.
exactly the character piece, right? Once a cheater, always a cheater. This person's late. This person's this. Who
Yeah.
knows? But I find that really compelling for today's relational discourse because we are so conflict avoidant and sometimes we either underreact or overreact. And so I think discussing how you can't get to trust but through disharmony is a really, again,
Ah.
provocative, crisp way of turning certain thinking upside down, right side up. And then imagine if astrologers taught that more often. Go ahead, Leslie.
Well, no, I think that's fascinating because I think about situations in my life and thinking, that with some people, it like this is I really love that framing because it allows me to see what happens in relationships if you can't get to the repair stage because people are
Oof.
conflict and I have Mars retrograde in Libra for
Oh,
so but it's sextile on my Pluto, so
yeah. You're like,
um,
don't owe me too much. All right. Yeah.
well, no, but I don't like conflict,
Yeah.
and I've been navigating that more, understanding that just because people have a difference of opinion
Mhm. I love that
that
you
kind
mentioned
of
that.
conflict is instead of blowing up
Yeah.
the disc. What's the second phase again?
Harmony, disharmony, repair.
The disharmony, the dissonance. They just amplify the dissonance, and it
Yes.
just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and then it's almost impossible
Yeah.
to repair it. And so, in a strange sort of way, trust is completely shattered in situations like that.
It can be if there's no willingness to, because let me make sure I'm citing this correctly. The Imago Institute defines conflict, as I understand it correctly, an objection to difference.
Yeah,
Objection to difference. And I think Venus and Libra just says to all of us, hey, guess what? You're not other people, and other people aren't you.
yeah.
So the Libra scales is just this incredible interpersonal negotiation of the difference of the
Well,
subjective emotional landscape, right? So you could say, all right, you do it this way, I do it that way. And if I regulate my objection to this difference and maintain connection, regulate objection, maintain connection. It's definitely the martial arts of the cognitive skills, but oh my God, it can change your whole life. No question
well,
about it.
Libra always wants to build a bridge. Always
Yes,
build a
yes.
bridge.
Or give you a
And
backhand. No.
and and uh, I had some. My middle son and I see the world in a very different way.
Okay.
And he said to me, "You don't respect me." And
Mm,
I said that's not true. So
mm.
I eventually he had to leave, and we didn't have time to finish the conversation. So
Okay.
I left him a voicemail message that said, "It doesn't matter whether we agree or we disagree. I'm always going to love you. That's the bottom line.
Oh,
That's
beautiful.
the bottom line."
Did this just happen, Leslie?
Oh, last year, last
Okay.
year around his birthday, he's a Scorpio.
Have you
Oh
resolved
no,
this
it
yet?
shifted everything. It shifted everything.
Can I ask you some questions about that, or you prefer not to talk about it
Sure,
publicly?
go
Yeah,
for
and
it.
if you do, okay. Did you ask him in what moments and what situations do you feel like I don't respect you?
Well, he said that he felt that I didn't respect his opinions,
Okay.
and that I think that he only thinks that because that's what his father thinks.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I well, and he said this as he's leaving the restaurant, so it's
Yeah.
pretty hard, and he had to get back to work. But I chose that path because I just wanted to open the door, and so subsequently,
Mm.
because he really loves to talk about politics and he loves to talk. I used to be a journalist. I was a journalist for a
Yes, I
long time.
remember. Yeah.
But journalism was a lot different when I was a journalist than it is
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And I haven't been a journalist for almost 32 years. So
Okay.
talking to me about the state of journalism at this point in time, and we don't really disagree.
Yeah.
It's just, anyways, without getting into the weeds, because some of it is private, and he is a
Of course.
Scorpio.
Oh, right. Exactly. Don't
Uh,
volunteer information publicly. Oh my God. Big cardinal sin. Go ahead.
so it seemed to shift everything for him
Oh, great.
because because I felt the same way. I felt he didn't respect me
Oh, exactly.
because he just wanted me to agree with him, and
How fixed of it all. Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Go ahead.
well, yeah, and it's hard for him because he does have Mercury post Chiron,
Okay.
Mercury and Scorpio post Chiron.
Yeah. Do you
So
mm-hmm.
so at any rate, I think that every situation is going to be different.
Different?
And of course, when it comes to talking about like the word trust,
Yeah.
it really does. Like for me, I have to admit, I have South Node in Libra. I've spent much of my life trying to figure out what makes other people happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And really, I know it sounds slightly antediluvian if I say that talking about politics all the time, I probably
Mm,
just used the word the wrong way. So forgive
that's
me.
okay.
Um, I worked at a newspaper for a long time.
Mm.
And in my experience, same shit, different day.
Hmm.
It's more a case of what's the volume on it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And and I'm an idealist. I call myself a practical idealist.
Great. Great.
So would I like it if, like, I think that some certain amount of between people is
Is good.
unavoidable,
Yes. And
and it's not
friction's
bad.
good. Friction's good. Can be.
Friction is good. It's more a case of, are you listening? And I think that's part of what trust is. Are you actually, there's
Yeah.
so much. You say something, and then the person says something back, and it's like, did you actually hear what I said?
Right.
Did
A
you
Right.
hear
question.
it?
I have a question, which is, what do you do if you don't trust someone? Like, what is the course of action if you don't trust someone?
Well, I think it's situational in the sense of like, is this, what could have been a business partner, a person you're in connection with, is how intimate is it? But I would actually think about how, so this is the work of Charles Feltman. And then I want to go back to something that else Leslie said too, which is that what trust is on the level of skills, Andy, is care, competence, sincerity, and reliability. Care, competence, sincerity, and reliability. So, depending on the context of the relationship, I think that we have the responsibility to tell people, I believe that you care. I believe that you're very competent about what you committed to and you're sincere in your intent. It's just that your reliability score, you're only following through on maybe 20% of the agreements that you set forth. And I think if you could just work on that, you'll get all four from me. That's a very different conversation, which inspires less defensiveness from the listener. And defensiveness is going to bring down the "are you hearing me" rate to 0%. So if you lead with the generous interpretation of somebody, if this is one who you want to stay in connection with, you say, yeah, no, you're competent, reliable, and sincere. I don't know if you care about me though. So can I see this versus that, and then give them an opportunity to move forward once they know the skill that is not present in the model of trust by Feltman.
Any response, Andy?
Oh no, I no.
Okay. And you said you wanted to say something about what I said, Colin?
Yeah, I think Leslie. I don't know. Obviously, the parent child dynamic in any way, but I think when it comes to the difference of opinion, so long as I love this idea. This is from Anatole Rappaport. He says, postpone persuasion
Hmm.
until you can successfully articulate another person's point of view to their satisfaction. And that's what demonstrates, I heard you. Because I think we're often persuading, right? And if
And
we just slow down and say, okay, so your political philosophy is what? And then try to summarize it, you're in a very different, not only verbal communication strategy, but the somatics too. The body feels so much calmer when we hear that other people reflected back to us what we said. Because according to Safe Conversations Institute, we're working with an 87% distortion rate. So we distort 87% of the communication we hear. And this study was done before social media, the hyperconnectivity of
yeah,
technology. So I suspect it's even lower, which means that we fill in the 87% blanks with distortion, waiting for our chance to speak, rebuttal, exaggeration, and defense.
well,
So
oh, and I would agree with that. And part of the challenge I faced was that, um, when he first started having these conversations to me, I said, really, an awful lot more about the details of what's happening than I do, because
yeah,
I don't pay a lot of attention because I don't find that it adds anything to my life. And his response was, "You're just trying to shut down debate."
and in which case you
And
could go ahead. Hmm.
and this one and this so it's been like this.
Yeah.
Like, here's the interesting thing. I I have three children. They're all boys. They they all see the world differently.
Of course.
They don't see the world exactly. I mean, the world that I live in, none of them are close to living in the world that I live in.
Right.
And I've learned an awful lot. I mean, my kids have challenged me, and I take the challenge. I don't
Yeah,
I
I
don't
bet.
I don't and that's not always easy, and it's not always easy to be challenged.
No.
And I think that is also part of the trust process.
Yes.
Because if you,
Yes.
because having been someone who stuffed everything
Yeah.
and did not, you know, engage my inner self in what was going on, I know what the result of that is. And
Yeah.
I think we have this notion that, we have to go at things hammer and tong,
No.
which is why we're having this conversation so people can understand that, you know, you might get to a place where you feel like your only option is rage, but maybe you might think about
Yes.
um, how you got to where you got to, as
And
opposed to who did what to whom.
and I think that could be a Leo context, right? Which is that, to receive tough feedback is a function of strong self-worth, which would mean if I upset you, Leslie, and you pulled me aside at, NORWAC 2027, and you said, when I saw you do this versus that, if I don't have any self-worth, then I'm not going to be able to hear you at all because I'm going to be mired in shame. I'm not going to go into guilt. I'm going to go into shame, defensiveness, and either that's not true or I take it all on and I can't repair. But I think it's important to name that to be in self-worth is to be a person who says, I might have done something bad. I made a mistake, but I'm not bad. I'm not a mistake. Right. And it's the distinction between behavior and self. And when we hold self-worth, matter of fact, couples therapy teaches beautifully that the one who apologizes first has more self-worth.
Ah, well, my younger son, this is son number 3, challenged me about a whole bunch of stuff.
Okay.
Um,
Oof.
and in the end, it helped me realize some very powerful things about it's a complex story. We
Of
won't get
course. Yeah.
into it. Uh, but I ended up, I sat down face to face and apologized to 2 of my children
Good
for
for
their
you.
for growing up in a household where they didn't feel safe.
Wow, Leslie, that's remarkable.
Well,
Good for you for
I know what it's
apologizing.
like to spend an equal amount of time being defensive and
Yeah.
and because uh, Colin, gee,
Yes.
you have
What?
quite the knack.
For? For
Well,
what?
I'm very open. I about my life. It's
Uh-huh.
just when if I'm just talking about my reaction or my response or how I deal with things, I don't have a problem with that.
Uh-huh.
But I'm a little leery about involving
Oh, of course.
my children, right?
Yes. Yeah, no, we'll
Um,
we'll keep that
Even
in the
though
privacy vault.
they are 50,
Oh, yeah.
uh, 44, almost 46, and 50. I have a
Got it.
matched set of water signs for children.
Oh, which one? How many? You have all
I
3?
have a Pisces, a Cancer, and a Scorpio.
Oh my God, Leslie, that is a karmic joke. I love it. On a woman with like 7 planets in air. I love it.
But I think that that's how you. One of the key elements to building trust is being accountable.
No question. And that's the character piece. Because if you don't have integrity, or if you can't take responsibility for, the inevitable imperfections that we're going to have, then yeah, there can be no trust. And I'm actually thinking of an astrologer who I adore, Ophira A. Duke. She's one half of the Astro Twins. We have a really careful arrangement and partnership with our living situation. We sort of cohabitate together in New York City. It's pretty remarkable. And when you're living with somebody, naturally stuff's going to come up, and we never turn on each other. It's really amazing. And she's a Scorpio stellium, and we are able to address like that. Sometimes we bring the historical into the hysterical, and we're like, I know it's not you, but this is what it's reminding me of. And then I'm like, I know, and sometimes when you do this, it reminds me of that. And it's a very careful, considered arrangement, and she can receive the feedback without defensiveness. Hopefully she would say the same about me. And it's so necessary. And she's a Scorpio stellium, so shout out to the Scorpios. Andy, I saw you writing. Now I'm curious. I'm like, what were you writing over there? But I'll mind my business.
Oh, I'm always taking notes.
Okay.
I'm a Gemini
You're a
rising.
Gemini.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
always
Taking-
wants to know.
I do have to pop off in 1 minute, and I'm very
Me.
sorry about that. I hope you trust me nonetheless.
You've earned it. 55 minutes in, so way to go. All right. And happy Venus and Libra. I hope it's good to you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it better
super
be.
nice to meet you. Well, I met you at Norwalk, but it was very quick.
Okay. Well, likewise, good to see you again then. Enjoy wherever you're going.
Leslie, I really look forward to chatting about this episode with you.
Okay.
All right.
And I'll let you know whether I'm going to show up for everything under the sun.
Do it. Be a celebrity CEO. Be a celebrity about it and just come.
Do it. I don't know what it is, but you need to do it, Leslie. I'm just encouraging you to do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it. Peer pressure, air signs, gang up.
Okay.
Bye, Andy. Oh.
Yeah, I guess. So that was a little bit disconcerting.
Which was?
Her leaving.
Oh, okay.
I'm not used to being alone. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. How many planets in Aquarius do you have? You're like, I prefer it.
Oh, well, it's funny because when I was younger, I hated being alone with a passion.
Oh, because is yours all in the 7th or 6th? Where is it?
3 planets in the 6th, including the moon conjunct the descendant.
Okay.
Degree, and 2 planets, Sun and Jupiter in the 7th.
Oh, there you go.
But I also have Mars in Libra, Neptune in Libra, and
Yes.
a South Node in Libra.
Air, baby. Air. I love it. Stay connected. Go ahead.
And now I spend most of my time by myself.
Understandable.
And I've learned to enjoy it. In fact, I wanted to say about Venus and Libra, and this is important, is that it's a time really with the Sun in Leo and the Venus in Libra. Be your own best friend, for God's sake.
Yeah, my gosh.
You might want to party, but it took me till I was 40 to realize that the most important relationship I had was the one I had with myself.
Yeah.
So building trust with yourself too is important.
It's everything.
Because, which means getting rid of the list of all the things you've ever thought you've done wrong.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's not an easy thing to do for a person like me with Saturn and Virgo. And it's funny because Andy's interviewed me a couple of times on her channel. Shout out to Andy.
Shout out to Andy.
And one of the things she asked me is, she said, well, what configuration in your chart do you think that people have the most problem with?
Oh, what a good question.
And I said, my moon Jupiter opposed my Pluto.
Moon Jupiter opposed Pluto. Yeah.
On the ascendant.
Yeah.
On the ascendant, right. And she said, in which configuration do you have the most difficulty with? I said, moon Jupiter quincunx Saturn.
Okay, because Saturn and Virgo, moon Jupiter. Okay, where you get into the weeds of your past behaviors and punish yourself.
Well, honestly,
overthinking.
I'm still working on that one. So, this gives people an idea when you're building trust with yourself. This takes time, and there are no magic wand.
And I don't think you get to graduate either, Leslie, P.S., until your last breath.
No, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm quite sure. But could we, like I used to say to people, I could get 3 PhDs in self-criticism.
Or maybe just one. No, I'm kidding. Self-criticism.
I think we're down to, anyway. So, and I think that, with Venus and Libra, this is important, and the Sun and Leo, that building trust with yourself really is accepting yourself. And
that's right.
And there's just so much of no trust going around.
Institutionally, interpersonally, I know. And I mean, it's what the social media discourse is all about, looking for red flags, signs that they're going to cheat. Like, there's a lot of suspicion. We're living in a very suspicious time. And I get it because the world is extremely dangerous. So I'm not saying it's anti-intellectual, but I think it is important to just be careful to not let this suspicion drive most of what we're doing.
Well, I think humans are inclined to suspicion anyway.
Yes, yeah. The negativity bias, yes.
The challenge
Worst
that we
case
face
scenario.
now is that so even 100 years ago, when we didn't have this mass conglomeration of people all over the world capable of connecting to anybody on the planet if they have the right tech
Look at
equipment,
this. Yeah, like we are now.
has brought, to me, it feels often like the trauma of centuries is
Oof.
surfacing all at the
Oh,
same
that's such a
time.
good point. Yeah.
And people really do not know, and I can't say that I know what to do about it because I don't.
Mm,
I mean, on a mass level, all my intention is to offer people pathways to uh,
perfect.
building a better relationship with themselves, because I think from
Yes.
that I really do believe what the I Ching says, and you can't change the world unless you're prepared to change yourself. Imagine if
I
we all did that.
agree.
Now,
Imagine.
granted, that is spoken from North America. I live in what most people would consider to be, and a privileged life. I mean, not
Mm,
that I've worked hard to create it, but
yeah.
nevertheless, I've had opportunities and things that, it would. I can't really go into a third world country and start talking about this, not in the same way I would talk about it in North America
Right, right,
or
right,
Europe.
right.
And I'm not being critical of myself. I'm just
I understand.
stating a fact.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you got to start somewhere. And I really think that those of us on the planet who live in with some relative form of abundance, it's
Yeah.
our responsibility to
Yes.
help things shift. It really
Yeah.
is.
Oh, without a doubt, because yeah, we are resourced incredibly as I almost said white Americans. Excuse me, white people on the North American continent. And I know that I think both of our countries have really gnarly histories with the indigenous populations, who I know mine most certainly committed a genocide against, and then there's
We
the
we didn't tend to go that route.
oh,
At least
okay,
not to this. I shouldn't say we didn't do it at all, because currently my memory, as far as my history,
okay,
but we marginalized them
of
and
course,
took their culture away from them.
awful, awful,
Um,
yeah,
and we had all the residential schools, all the crisis around
yes,
that.
I did hear about this.
We don't. I'm not saying we came out smelling like a rose, because we didn't.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I was very blessed in the sense that I was taught tolerance by both my parents,
Oh, great.
and at a time when tolerance was not necessarily the norm.
Mm,
And
mm.
and so and of course I'm inclined that way anyways. I'm an Aquarius, to give space and place for
Mm.
everybody, even
Yes.
the people that I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
I However, I don't think that's always an easy thing for everyone to do.
No,
Be able to
no.
the gift of North Node in Aquarius is, can you be detached and objective,
Oh, okay.
as opposed to, and that's not, and people often think that means disconnection,
Right. No, no.
um, because it means, can you stand back and take a look at what's happening without attaching, understanding that you have an emotional
Yeah,
feeling about it.
yeah.
Because I mean, we are. I've had several discussions with different people. Life is a feeling experience. It's not necessarily. And coming from a person with 7 planets in air, that's the
Yeah, if
thing.
you're gonna say that. And that
And
is true. Yeah.
if anybody's qualified to say it's not a thinking experience, it would be me.
You, because you would be the one that would want to defend that truth to the highest. Meanwhile, no, yeah,
Anyway, yeah. I just lost my train of thought.
that's all right.
Just lost my train of
That's
thought.
all right. That's all right. Because you know what? Let trains of thought, we'll let them go. We'll let them leave the station. And we can say to
Yeah.
everybody, you are worthy of love and belonging and a work in progress at the same time. So trust yourself and take some risks and
Well,
do the hard thing.
do you have anything? I mean, you and I could talk forever.
I know. Oh my
I
God.
see that.
Well, that is really that I think that would be the primary takeaway, is that maybe eclipse center, any Leo transit, but especially a total solar eclipse in Leo is saying, yes, you're a work in progress and you might have missed the mark, and there's clearly imperfections that we're all dealing with, and still you're worthy of love and belonging. So that's the Leo reminder. That's your birthright. That's nothing you need to prove. That's nothing you need to, negotiate or ask for, hustle for. You're worthy right now, and you're a work in progress. So, what sort of conversations would you have differently from that place? What risks would you take? And see where that takes them in understanding their relationship to self-trust, interpersonal trust, trust in a higher power, etc.
Yeah, and I think that the exercise that I talked about at the beginning might be one of the ways
Exactly.
to do that.
That is exactly the way to do it. I love it. Yes, because it gives
As-
them the cognition. Go ahead.
Well, it's interesting because with Pluto transiting my Venus for the fourth time,
Right.
um, it's been an interesting time realizing that um, I'm building a different kind of trust with myself because
Yeah.
obviously, like when I left my job at the newspaper, there were lots of people thought I was crazy. Now, granted, I was suffering from PTSD and clinical depression. Not
Um,
the optimum time for people
no.
to leave their job, but
Yeah.
on the other hand, I some part of me knew that if going back to work there, getting betterment, going back to work there, I would never get better. So I chose
Yeah.
my health instead.
Good for you, girl.
And but what it so what I'm speaking to here is listening to your gut.
Mm. Mm.
Listen to what you're being called to do. And and I look back. I mean, I ended up in journalism just because I thought it was a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Hey, and it
So,
was
well,
at the time.
but it's interesting. Like when I used to go out to schools and talk to them about careers, there'd be a list of all the practical things you're doing, but nowhere on that list for the students was what do you love?
Of course. Yeah. That's
What are you
yeah.
good at?
Yeah.
It was like you just do all these steps,
Mm-hmm.
but in fact, I mean, I used to tell my kids when they were growing up, look, you choose to do the only thing I ask of you is you do so with honesty and integrity,
Period.
and choose what you love. And of course, my younger son recently told me that I know you really believe it, but sometimes, Mom, a job is just a job. Here's
Sure.
hoping he doesn't listen to this podcast
Uh,
anyway.
and at the end of the day, he'll still be right because it's his world, you know?
Oh no,
So there you
but
go.
here's the interesting thing. I because I in my own personal life, I had a mother who wanted to decide, make all my decisions for me.
Mm.
And maybe it's all those plants and Aquarius. It was like I don't want to make those decisions for you.
Yeah.
And I had like when my middle son, the Scorpio, said to me when he was 16 years old, he said, "Mom, I've decided what I want to be." I said, "What?" He said, I want to go into computer engineering." And I said, "What about music?" Music, because he's a very talented musician. He looked at me and he said, "Mom, I thought you'd be happy that I knew what I wanted to do." I said,
Um,
"Point taken."
yeah. I'll never bring it up again. Yeah.
Well, I still try to. He does right now. Anyways, I can't say that I don't. You know, do a
Guide a
little
little
bit of
bit.
that every once in a
Yeah.
while. And but again, that's part of the whole issue that's connected to trust is uh, you only can take charge of your life. You don't even have control over your own life. You can take charge.
No, exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
So understanding, like I think that we strive so hard for control,
There you
and to
go.
me that seems to be the antithesis of trust.
No question. And the antithesis of control would be courage, right? Which is another experience with the unknown. Yeah. And I think
So,
that's what we're trying to have people engage with.
well, that's one of the reasons why I share some of my personal stories because it helps people to realize that you can be in a place where you never thought you'd be,
Yeah.
and wondering which end is up, which is exactly where I was when I had PTSD. Like I was lucky if I had enough energy to cook myself dinner every day.
Uh, yeah.
So, and people often say, "So, what did you do?" I said, "Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I
I
think it
survived
was,
the
I,
survival.
well, Andy has often said to me that I have faith, hope, and optimism on steroids. So,
Great.
that be part of it. But
Great.
it's in those moments that you have
Yeah.
the opportunity to 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 connect to what essentially is your inner core,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yes. and you found
so
the inner core, which the root word is COR, right? And that is Latin for heart.
I should know that since in
Yeah,
French it's coeur.
exactly. Yeah. So there you go.
What is it in
Courage.
Italian?
Cuore.
Coeur?
Cuore. Cuore. See.
Coeur?
Cuore. See.
I love other languages, which is
Anch'io. Me too. Yeah. I don't know if I speak them well. I know enough to be dangerous, but
well, I wish
that's
I could
about
say the
it.
same thing. My second language is astrology.
There you go. I know. I should start adding that. I know because I go English, Italian, Spanish, astrology. That's what I should do. I
Oh
speak four
wow.
languages. Okay, but not
And I,
fluently
and
in
I do
Spanish and Italian.
apologize. I even wrote out all your wonderful qualifications and
Oh,
all the things you've
please,
done. And
Leslie. I'm glad you didn't. I hate having to sit here and listen to that. So as far as your viewers know, you found me just randomly at a grocery store. We were talking about astrology in the dairy aisle. And you were like, yeah, sure, you can be on my podcast if you insist. And here we are. Leave it at that. We'll make up a whole story. Yeah, he was wondering where the organic milk was. Okay, that's it.
I don't know if I'd be much help when it came to that.
Where's the milk?
I don't know if you could trust me to find the shit in the grocery store.
Ah, damn it. Okay, is there a Virgo here? Paging the Virgo and the dairy aisle.
If we're talking about trust, it's hard to have trust in your grocery stores these days because they keep moving things around.
You know what? Agreed. And raising the prices in the States. God damn it. Anyway, we'll let them
prices
go.
here aren't any better.
Oh, see. Well, thank you for having me. It's been an honor to talk to you.
Wow, an honor and fun to talk to you.
Oh, please, yes, make it fun. Jesus.
Can I end this stream and because I just wanted to and you not disappear? I guess we'll find out.
No, yeah, we'll find out. Let's see. I'll stay
Oh,
in.
you're still there.
Still there.